Khamzat Chimaev is the new 185 middleweight world heavyweight champion of the world in the UFC. Dominated Dricus Du Plessis. Yay, I'm so happy, guys. This will be such an entertaining reign. I can't wait for Chimaev to be active. Fight, every 3-4 months. Scraps, entertaining wars, big finishes. Oh, great promos, trash talk because he speaks so great English. And he's so cool, he will pull in the men because his fighting style is so cool. He will pull in the women because he's so hot. Yeah. Everything on the opposite day, of course. Yeah, good win for Chimaev. He won the match dominantly. And the reason why I don't say fight, why I say match, is because it's hard for me to call it a fight. When usually when we talk about a fight, it's two guys, and especially the guy that won, trying to inflict any kind of damage on his opponent and going for finishes. Even if he's not going for the biggest finishes, he's going for, submissions, kimuras, rear naked chokes, arm triangle. Not much of that from Chimaev. Lay and pray, he must have trained with Merab, Belal. Oh! Speaking of Belal Muhammad, classic Belal style to end the fight. On the bottom, getting beat up with ground and pound, almost getting choked out, like Belal style fight against Leon Edwards. So Mr. Inbred couldn't even end the fight dominantly. He got tired, as they always do after hugging and humping. That's not what Allah wants, but okay. Right here can stop with Khamzat's killer, Khamzat is the destroyer, this monster, this boogeyman. No, I mean, people called Tony Ferguson the boogeyman, El Cucuy. And there's a classic picture out there of like all his opponents, Josh Thompson, Barbosa, RDA, Pettis, Cerrone. When the fight was done, their faces are bloody, cut up. Cerrone, one eye swollen up, etc. That's not really the case with Chimaev. DDP is probably pretty fine after that fight. Can probably fight again in a week. If you look at Chimaev's top opponent, not when he faces Kevin Holland, not when he faces GM3, Li Jingliang, when he's coming up against top level competition, and I'm not talking about Whittaker, who had effed up teeth going into the fight, which was why when Chimaev didn't even try to finish the fight, not a rear naked choke, squeezed on his face, to make it uncomfortable, to frustrate him, as the grapplers normally do, between some ground and pound, some squeezing on the face, getting to a new position, etc. He just squeezed, and the teeth, who already was effed up, there. And Whittaker had to tap. So we're not talking about someone who went into the fight, who had missed his dentist appointment, whatever. I'm actually going to the dentist soon. Anyway, when he went against top level competition, who had normal teeth, decision against Burns, war, close war. Chimaev got dropped by lightweight, etc. Kamaru Usman, on like a week's notice, who won round 2 and 3. That fight should have been a draw. If it was a 5-round fight, Chimaev would have gotten finished like a bitch. And now again, 5-round decision. So let's stop with this killer thing. And even Chimaev dominates everybody because he just doesn't. Did he dominate DDP? Yes. Did he hug him and fight the most boring, pathetic, non-warrior, pussy style of fight? Absolutely. And listen, if you inbred like this kind of fighting, good for you. But the thing is, the same people that were cheering for Ankalaev winning, the same people that were cheering for Merab winning the belt, you can see the difference. Listen, if you're in the same religion, culture, Muslim, everything as these guys, good for you. If we compare last year, like fight of the year, whatever you want to say, Alex Pereira fought 3 times in, I believe it was 6 months, April to October, fought 3 times. Finished Jamal Hill, sick, amazing finish with head kick against Yuri, amazing finish, combos and everything against Khalil, finishing him. So those 3 performances in 6 months. Magomed Ankalaev, of course, no finish, decision, because that's what he does, decision against everybody. And that was in March. He will fight again in October. So that's his activity. No hype. The division is dead. No one talks about light heavyweight. No talk about him stepping in on short notice. Nothing. No rival. Quiet. No one cares. So there you see the difference. That division is destroyed. Boom. Out. Merab. So before Merab, you had killers like Peter Yan. Amazing how he stopped Faber, how he beat up Sterling. The knee was what it was. The great fights against Sandhagen, amazing fight against O'Malley. You got O'Malley's sick finish against Sterling. You got O'Malley schooling Molovera for 5 rounds. Then Merab, boring decision. Merab again. Merab decision against Umar. Fantastic. No one cares. Fought O'Malley again. Got his first finish in 4 years. I think his second finish in his entire career. Embarrassing pussy. We can also put in Evloev in there, who has 0 finishes in the UFC. 0. And now at middleweight, you see DDP coming up. You see his scrap, great fight with Tavares, his brawl with Bronson, finishing him, finishing Whittaker, war with Strickland for 5 rounds, finishing Adesanya, and dominating Strickland in the striking. And then Khamzat Chimaev, boring, decision, lay and pray, no one cares, the hype is dead. So, I mean, it's just the fact that a certain kind of fighters for over there, yeah, just a pussy style culture, bitches. But yeah, thankfully it's not all bad. The other 5 men's champions are actually, I'm gonna say, yeah, so we got 3 bitches now in Ankalaev, Merab, and Chimaev. But the other 5, it isn't even like, you know, some of them are good, some are like meh. I would say the 5 others are pretty fun. Aspinall is amazing to watch. Finishes everyone in the first round. Then we have JDM, amazing, like one of the best boxers. Great performance against Belal. Shut that bitch style culture down. Cock. Hey! Number 3, Ilia Topuria. Like my favorite right now. Oh my, amazing. Also, as you saw against so Ilya went up against like arguably the best BJJ dude we've ever seen in the UFC, in MMA, in Charles Oliveira. Oliveira wasn't even hurt. He got on top, boom, passed, split second into side control, got the crucifix. Chimaev got on DDP. And there you see the difference immediately. The reason why DDP was locked in the way he was, of course, Chimaev probably strong, good for him. Chimaev, when you lay like that with all your weight, especially on someone with a DDP who has most of his weight up here, and you're not going for big strikes, you're not going for a big submission, you're not looking for like get up and throw big strikes. If you just lay like that, it's almost impossible for someone to get up, because if I not even fight, if I like on my cousin or friend, if I, especially me, that's a bit heavier right now, I know. If I lay on top of my friend or cousin in the crucifix with lock, both arms, with all my weight, just boom, lay on their chest so they barely can't breathe, like on their chest / face. If I just lay there, and my intention is not to punch, go for a submission, move, try to finish the fight. If I'm just, all I'm trying to do is hold with all my life, and probably if they do the similar thing to me, like it would be basically impossible to do anything. And when you have two elite trained fighters, it's the same thing. So if I try to do that and also throw some some, not trying to damage, just, yeah, that's basically the same thing. But if I try to actually go for a boom, up, boom, create some momentum, go for a Kimura, then there's better chance for me to finish and do some real damage. But I also, in the same way, create space and opportunity for the opponent to actually get up, get into a better position, sprawl, Granby roll, whatever. So when Ilya got in the crucifix, he immediately tried to finish the fight, go for something, not just lay there and pick the punch. And he automatically gave Oliveira the chance to get out, and he tried to go for like the heel hook or whatever. But Chimaev just lay there and picked the punches, and yeah, that's not the fight. You just want to hold. Such a pussy style. Fortunately for us, we got Aspinall, JDM, Ilya Topuria, Volkanovski is back, fantastic. Also entertaining, loved his fight against Diego Lopez, looked great, amazing, one of the best, amazing striking, amazing boxing, all around still great. Really. And that's the thing. Decision doesn't mean bad, boring, and grappling isn't bad. Getting to the 5th champion. I like Pantoja. Dominated Kai France in the grappling. It wasn't boring. I saw he was... When I watched that fight live, I saw him moving. I saw him... When I looked at that, the difference between when I watched that live and when I watched DDP Chimaev, when I watched Pantoja Kai France, I saw like, oh dude, I think Pantoja, like I see him. It just felt like, dude, he's gonna finish. He's gonna finish Kai France any minute, and he did in the. I don't remember exactly, 2nd or 3rd. Who cares? So he finished Kai France. Chimaev DDP. I could go to the toilet for 2 minutes, come back, same position, or they have moved from half guard to side control, or they have moved from side control to crucifix, or they have moved from guard to back. Like nothing happened. So yeah, I'm done talking about that. It's not MMA. Also, as I heard, Guru said, yeah, it's MMA. So for the people that are complaining, oh, it's MMA, why are you complaining about wrestling? Yeah, okay, so it's mixed martial arts. If you think wrestling is so great, if you think that is fighting, if you think that's MMA, just laying on someone and barely want to throw a punch. I know he threw many punches. Do we count it? If my friend does this to me, 500 times. Like, there you actually have it. If I to like my cousin, if I with all the power I could generate, boom, clean on his chin, there's a good chance I would knock him out. If I wouldn't knock him out, I would probably drop him, concuss him, at least hurt him, at least that he would be blurry, like, get hurt, have to sit down and be like, not good in the head. In the best case. Or like you could break the jaw, depending on everything. But if I to my cousin 500 times, like I can even do a bit harder. This is not nice. If I do harder, it starts to hurt, especially if I get this bone here. So this isn't nice. But if I do this to someone, there you see the difference. A real hard punch would hurt him bad, but I can do this 500 times. So when you say a punch, maybe we need to create a new word, but punch. But the point was, if you love wrestling, if you love watching that's wrestling. That's barely MMA grappling, that's wrestling. Go and watch wrestling, go and watch Pussybone Nickel, who's apparently going back to wrestling. Such an L in life. Go jump off a bridge. It's called mixed martial arts. So mix up the arts. Mix it up. Wrestling, BJJ, kickboxing, Muay Thai, clinch, Sambo, I don't know, what if I forgot. Mix it up. There's so many times where I get irritated at the crowd when I see a takedown or they have been scrapping and they get into the clinch for a few seconds and the crowd immediately boo. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the culture where if people are just grappling and being boring and stuff, boo the shit out of them. Love it. Not even a takedown. I mean, I think many people would agree that arguably the most boring position to watch as a fan in the octagon is people just clinching. Rob, Batista. So if I see a scrap, two people going back and forth, like for example, if Joshua Van and Brandon Royval, who had an amazing fight, scrap for 3 rounds, if Royval started to go for more takedowns and got into the clinch after they have been scrapping for a round or something, I'm pretty damn sure either immediately or within 10 seconds the crowd would start to boo heavily, maybe even more than usual, because they are so amped up about the amazing fight. For me, if I watch them scrap like that for a round and a half and Royval clinch for 10-15 seconds, for me it would almost be like first of all, I would probably try to take a breath, like, okay, Jesus Christ, dude, I would be like, dude, yeah, clean, dude, if you guys clean for like half a minute now, it's fine for me, like, and honestly, one of my favorite things to see is a fight with a scrap standing, then with take that, like when I watched the first fight with Volk and Islam, Volk immediately cracking him and pushing Islam back, Islam cracking him back, Islam like taking Volk down, Volk scrambling, rolling out, whatever, getting up, people getting taken down, working up against the cage, getting out. I love seeing the classic striker versus grappler. Arman and Gamrot, amazing fight, grappling there, defense, like rolling around. Yeah, let's move on, but yeah. Jesus. Okay guys, Jesus, it's hot, I'm tired. Okay, let's move on to the other fights. Lerone Murphy knocking out Aaron Pico in the first round. Jesus, of course, 2 spinning elbows. in the first round back-to-back, which is insane. There's not much to say here. I've seen people hating on Pico. I won't even hate on Pico. I was a bit excited, not like co-main event of 319 excited, but I was excited to see what he would do. I've seen some highlights of his knockouts and everything. And with like, this fight for me doesn't prove at all that Pico isn't UFC level. Like, immediately I saw, okay, I don't know, did he kind of knocked, I don't know if he knocked Leron Murphy down. He cracked him, and maybe he got down a bit against the cage, but then he like swept his legs. I don't know exactly what happened, but you know, he went in there, mixed it in good with the wrestling, with the strikes, great body shots, bam, and again, bam. And Murphy looked like he was in panic, and absolutely, Pico, of course, it was predictable with him just moving forward, and he moved, like when he did his move, Murphy, credit to him, Mr. Decision, Mr. Boring, like Mr. Featherweight Leon Edwards. With that accent, you know, I'm doing another thing, I'm smacking another thing, I'm British, I'm doing with your mom. He timed perfectly. Spinning elbow, bam, bruv. A British spinning elbow. Yeah, and Pico was out immediately. I was like, fuck, man. Like, I would much rather see Pico go in there flatline him. And maybe he would get dominated, you know, by Volk, probably. But, yeah. I'm not, like, am I a Bellator and PFL hater? I was about to say yes. Honestly, I'm not, because hater is just you're just hating because you're like jealous or bitter or whatever. For me, it's just, you know, it's just objectively trash promotions. I don't know what PFL is doing. Why would you buy Bellator? Why would you sign Ngannou for this? You know, get him getting millions every time he fights. When he draws nothing in the UFC, he will draw even less in the PFL. Like, the numbers were horrible. What did they draw like 10,000, like 10k pay-per-view buys when he fought Henna Ferreira and Ngannou? I don't know exactly, but like F PFL, F Bellator. I mean, Bellator doesn't even exist anymore, does it? I actually have some respect for one. Let's not get Jesus. F PFL. But when people come in here like Chandler, Pico, Mix, MVP, dude, I want them, especially the last few years, you know, we have lost. We don't have the Diaz brothers. Jones is retired, I guess, or not. Connor hasn't fought in 4 years. Masvidal is gone. Dustin just retired. Colby never fights. So the stars and big names are just away forever. You know, Brock hasn't fought in 9 years. We need every little bit of hype we can get. So with these guys coming, so I loved seeing Chandler come in, and I think with just that great win of, he had like the perfect debut against Hooker, and yeah, his career after that when it comes to win-loss ratio for Chandler, not good. But I think that KO over Hooker, especially when Hooker had just gone 6 months earlier, like 5 hard rounds war with Dustin Poirier, who was like, yeah, especially after beating Conor, like the number one guy, seen as the best guy at lightweight after Khabib retired. I think that immediately sent him, you know, boom, he's up there with the best, almost beat Oliveira, you know, knocked out Tony, almost beat Dustin and everything. So with just one good win, you can really get yourself, boom, into the top 5, into the title picture, and you know, maybe actually trick people into thinking you're better than you are. Pico fight, I think he's still good. Like, dude, he basically, in my eyes, dominated Murphy until Murphy caught that and I don't think it was lucky. Murphy timed a great spinning elbow on Pico. Pico will be back. I would have no problem with Pico because is Murphy's just below top 5? Maybe? I don't know if it's top 7. I would have no problem with Pico fighting someone like top 10 or ranked after this. I think he could beat several guys. I think for me, after that, I would love to see Pico again. I love boxing where you go in and bam, bam, boom. Yeah, but good for Murphy. I would love to see Murphy fight Volk next. That makes sense. Evlov hasn't fought in like when that fight happens. Evlov wouldn't have been fighting for a year. Like if the JDM fight against Belal was what it was. There was like no other options. They wanted Shavkat, but I think Shavkat was injured. They had Belal scheduled. They needed someone. They pulled JDM out of the Leon fight into the title fight. But here we have options, and yeah, and actually, when I actually thought about it, when I heard people say that Murphy should fight, I was still like, I mean, just get Evlov in there. Hopefully he lose, and we can stop talking about Evlov. When Dana did his, iPhone thing, Evlov Pico, blah blah blah. In that shit, he said, like, Evlov is undefeated, he's on a 16-5 winning streak, whatever it is, and said, if Evlov gets the win here, he's fighting Alexander Volkanovski. He's fighting Alexander Volkanovski next, or he's fighting for the title next. Dana said that like this was a clear number 1 contender fight, and I'm pretty damn sure if Pico beat Evlov, that Pico would fight for the belt. So pretty clear number 1 contenders fight. He even said Evlov is fighting for the belt if he wins. So with Evlov then pulling out and undefeated Murphy, who's on a great streak, stepping in, I mean, it makes perfect. Like, this is this is not Dan Ige or a number 12 or unranked stepping in. This is, top number 7, number 6, whatever it is, undefeated, great run, stepping in, one of the best in the world. So yeah, this made all the sense in the world. And also, I completely agree with the thing that the UFC should reward people. If someone steps in on short notice and gets a 3rd round spinning elbow like that in the co-main event, like, what else can you do to show the UFC, give me that shot, I'm ready? Like, UFC should reward that, someone being active, stepping in on short notice, stepping in on someone that is coming in from another promotion, not ranked. Many people will look at that as, what do I gain for fighting him? So, makes all the sense in the world that with that win, especially how he won, flatline KO, spinning elbow, 1st round, it makes all the sense in the world. Leron Murphy, Volk should get in there as quickly as possible. If I don't know exactly what they will do with like, everyone seems to think that JDM and Islam for the welterweight belt will be at MSG in November. If that's it, like, we still don't know. We are seeing reports of Gaethje and Ilya in December. It's sad in either case, because Volk in that case would be co-main event of people that flatline him. But it is what it is. Honestly, as soon as... Oh wait, yeah! MSG, Volk is ready. MSG, Murphy, Volk. Absolutely, bam. Jeff Neal, Carlos Prates looked amazing with... Oh my god, 1 second to go in the 1st round, Carlos Prates spinning elbow knocked out Jeff Neal. Yeah, I mean, he couldn't have looked better. Like how he moved. Watching Carlos Prates in there, he looked like the perfect MMA fighter. I know he didn't defend or shoot for any takedowns, but he knew exactly how to move for Jeff Neal, exactly when to strike, when to not, when to... Perfect performance. Looked like a killer, amazing. yeah, I was about to say that he didn't lose much hype after the Gary fight. I mean, for me, I was really like, F this guy. What the fuck was that performance against Gary? Everyone has their off days. Also, Gary short notice opponent. We've seen people before, like Mr. Dominant Habib went 5 rounds with number 12 or whatever it was, Ala Quinta. 5 rounds. So, yeah, we know short notice can F you up. So it's fine. It is what it is. Prates looked amazing. Love it. Fantastic. MVP looked amazing. Slipped up in the 3rd round. It is what it is. He survived. Clear win. And I think, yeah, MVP looked amazing. Cannonier is still good. What is Cannonier? 41. Cannonier would still give him. Cannonier would probably beat up. Give him Roman Dolidze, Brendan Allen, Abus Magomedov. He would probably beat. Like, Cannonier could still beat several guys. Like, if they want to kill Vettori, rematch him. But no, the most obvious matchup ever that I've wanted to see for several years. You know, there was a couple guys before this new wave. Adesanya, Whittaker, Costa, Vettori, Cannonier. Like, I mean, you could argue throwing in someone like Gastelum in there, but all those guys has fought each other, sometimes more than once. Like, the only 2 guys in there that haven't, I would be a perfect fight. Still would be an amazing fight. Cannonier still being a good fighter. Costa arguably looking better than ever. Did I spoil it or whatever? Or did I say Costa can? Paulo Costa versus Jared Cannonier. Amazing. If you put that as a main event of a fight night, I would be like, let's go. And MVP, there's a lot of talk. Should he stay at middleweight? Should he move back to welterweight? MVP wants to move back to welterweight. He refuses to fight Adesanya, pussy, black on blacks thing. I don't know. I don't really know what I want actually with MVP. But he's sick. Do your thing. If Pantoja didn't fraud check Kaya Sakura, Team Elliott absolutely fraud checked Kaya Sakura. DJ's the GOAT. Babu. Okay guys, now I ranted. Thank you guys so much for watching. New video right here. The anti-Chimaev Dagestan inbred playlist right here somewhere. See you next time. Subscribe.